There's a photo from 2008 of Barack Obama holding a BlackBerry, the President of the United States. That's how dominant this company was. World leaders refused to use anything else. And then, in what might be the fastest corporate decline in tech history, they went from controlling 20% of the global smartphone market to less than zero. The strange part? They saw the iPhone coming. They just didn't believe it mattered.
Global business moved exactly as fast as a landline connection. Professionals were strictly tethered to their desks to handle communications. While wireless data existed, it was too slow and far too unreliable for serious corporate work. A Canadian firm called Research in Motion solved this. They introduced a pocket-sized, always-on device built for the specific purpose of wireless email. It featured a screen and a tactile keyboard that users could operate with their thumbs, allowing them to reply to messages from the palm of their hand. The real breakthrough was the BlackBerry Enterprise Server. This system took the headache of network security away from IT departments by creating a closed loop. It routed encrypted data straight from the corporate server to the handheld device. This architecture proved its reliability during the events of September 11. While standard cellular networks collapsed under the volume of traffic, BlackBerry's isolated data infrastructure remained fully operational, keeping emergency communications flowing. BlackBerry had engineered a zero-trust corporate fortress. By making businesses entirely dependent on their secure loop, they gained an effective monopoly over the professional market. This chart shows the company's global subscriber growth through the early 2000s. The user base saw an aggressive climb, soaring from roughly 100,000 users in 2000 to over 8 million by 2006. The physical QWERTY keyboard drove this adoption. These sculpted keys allowed high-speed power users to type out emails rapidly without looking, creating a psychological addiction to constant connectivity that earned the device the nickname Crackberry. The device became a mandatory status symbol for global leaders, celebrities, and politicians. It broadcasted that the user was essential, in demand, and always reachable. To cement this lead, they launched BlackBerry Messenger. BBM was an exclusive social network that only worked between their own devices. If you wanted to message your colleagues instantly, you had to buy BlackBerry hardware. By 2007, the company held total market dominance. But that empire was built on a narrow foundation, a reliance on strict corporate mandates and a specific piece of physical hardware. In January 2007, the mobile phone changed. When Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone, he centered the device on the mobile internet and a glass screen full of applications. It wasn't a business tool, it was a consumer lifestyle device. BlackBerry's leadership, led by co-founder Mike Lazaridis, dismissed the threat. They believed the iPhone's lack of a physical keyboard and its poor battery life would be deal breakers for any professional needing to get work done. They missed the bring-your-own-device revolution. Employees loved the glass interface so much that they began bringing their personal iPhones into the office, defying the official rules of their employers. Executives soon demanded that their IT departments support these new devices. Facing a revolt from their own staff, corporations began to abandon their strict BlackBerry mandates to appease their workforce. Their rigid focus on corporate security had blinded them. They failed to see that consumers, not IT administrators, dictated the market's direction. A panicked hardware response followed. They released the BlackBerry Storm, featuring a clickable glass screen intended to mimic a keyboard. The device was clunky, buggy, and was met with horrendous reviews from the public. They also ignored the power of the third-party App Store. While Apple and Google allowed developers to build thousands of new functions, BlackBerry kept their platform closed, leaving their users with far fewer software options than their competitors. The 2011 release of the Playbook tablet made things worse. Attempting to fight the iPad, the company shipped a device that lacked a native email app, the very feature that had made the brand famous. This chart tracks the resulting fallout. After massive delays and failed product launches, the company's global market share collapsed from its peak to near zero by 2013. The collapse didn't happen because of a lack of resources. It happened because the company tried to fight a modern software war using outdated hardware tactics. When John Chen took over as CEO in 2013, the company was in crisis. Facing nearly $1 billion in losses on unsold inventory, Chen was forced to cut 40. This transition found a new market in the automotive sector. Today, their QNX software is embedded in over 235 million vehicles worldwide, providing the secure foundation for modern car displays and autonomous systems. BlackBerry survived by dismantling the hardware business that had once defined it. It was a path to stability, though it meant destroying the very product that made the name a household brand. The paradox of the BlackBerry story is that the features that built their empire, the physical keys and the closed networks, were the same things that caused their downfall. Innovation rarely looks like a faster version of an existing tool. Disruption arrives when a competitor shifts the entire focus of the device toward a different use. A defensive posture around a legacy product guarantees obsolescence. A moat built to keep competitors out can easily leave you trapped inside. The greatest threat to an organization is its own current success. Long-term survival requires the willingness to move past your greatest strength before a competitor renders it irrelevant.
BlackBerry's engineers actually built a touchscreen phone before Apple did. They had it working, and management killed it because they thought nobody would want to type on glass. Let that sink in. If you want more stories about companies that had the future in their hands and let it slip, hit subscribe.